Welcome, my fellow tax professionals. Today we're going to be discussing the IRS's returning of an offer and compromise application. I'm your host, Attorney Robert Schaller, and the author of the course. The IRS can return an offer and compromise application packet for many reasons. A return is actually a word of art. It is meaning it's the termination without acceptance or rejection of the offer. And the IRS can return either a processable or an unprocessable application. For example, the IRS will return the offer application if the taxpayer is in bankruptcy. The IRS will also return an application if the taxpayer is not in compliance and having filed the necessary tax forms. Also, the IRS will be returning an application if there's an open audit. Enjoy the course. Let us begin exploring the IRS returning the offer application. The IRS can return the Form 656 offer application without accepting or rejecting the offer. The return closes the application review process. A return is defined as a non-acceptance recommendation by the IRS. The IRS's decision to return the application grants no appellate rights to the taxpayer. The IRS can return both a processable and an unprocessable offer and compromise application to a taxpayer without accepting or rejecting the offer. The return of an unprocessable application is discussed first, followed by a discussion of a return of a processable application. Now let's focus on the return of an unprocessable application. The IRS deems an application unprocessable, returns the application to the taxpayer, and closes the application process under the circumstances discussed below. In short, the IRS refuses to consider the application. But why would they do that? Let's begin exploring some of the most common reasons the IRS returns the application to the taxpayer because it is unprocessable. A doubt as to collectability offer will be returned as unprocessable and not be considered if the taxpayer has the ability to pay fully the tax liability prior to the collection statute expiration date, or CSED. An offer will be returned as unprocessable and not be considered if the taxpayer has not filed all annual tax returns that the taxpayer is legally required to file. An offer will be returned as unprocessable and not be considered if the taxpayer is in non-compliance with estimated tax returns and payments for the calendar year in which the offer is submitted. An offer will be returned as unprocessable and not be considered if the taxpayer is in non-compliance with employment tax returns and payments for the calendar quarter in which the offer is submitted. An offer will be returned as unprocessable and not be considered while a taxpayer is in bankruptcy. And an offer will be returned as unprocessable and not considered if the taxpayer is in an open audit or received notice that a tax year will be audited by the IRS. Now we will discuss the IRS returning the offer and compromise application that was initially deemed processable, but was later returned to the taxpayer because of the taxpayer's non-compliance with the taxpayer's obligations during the IRS investigation process. In short, the IRS stops reviewing a pending application when the taxpayer has not remained in compliance during the IRS's investigation of the offer. A taxpayer's failure to file required returns could result in the IRS returning the offer. The 1099 employee must file all estimated tax returns with Form 1040-ES. The taxpayer with employees must file quarterly employment tax returns with Form 941. Of course, the Form 656 applicant must file the annual Form 1040 on a timely basis. A taxpayer's failure to pay during the offer investigation could result in the IRS returning the offer. The 1099 employee must make timely estimated tax payments. The taxpayer with employees must be current with paying all federal tax deposits. The Form 656 applicant must make annual Form 1040 payments on a timely basis, if any are required. Thank you for listening to this video, and please spread the word to family and friends that Do-It-Yourself Offer and Compromise Academy is available to help taxpayers find solutions to crushing IRS-backed taxes. The music for this video was provided by www.bensound.com. You can contact the Academy at its contact page at www.diycompromiseacademy.com. Enjoy the online course and keep on learning.